Fix it, bro.
We're fucked. Kind of fucked right now. We need to go to a parts store. I'm losing a little bit of coolant, but it's not that bad, you know. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's fucked. So it's later on. We made it to the meet, or at least Marcus and I did. And as you can see, I replaced the coolant line. We went to O'Reilly's, which is a mile down the road. You can see this coolant line runs here. I have it zip tied out of the way, and it's just resting against this flag because I'm at the meet, you know. I'm gonna put this back on my window, but other than that, it's not burning anymore, and I refilled the coolant and everything, and we all Gucci. I made it here just fine, and that's that. I just wanted to recap that so y'all know. So my repair parts for my Subaru came in to me. You can see Sir Preston Gregg, obviously, yep. But I got my head gaskets and my shifter bushings. I don't know why they came in such massive boxes, because these are like super light, but I'm gonna open them up and see what they are. So here are my two head gaskets. The other one was in a completely different package.
What?
Look at that, it's freaking bent. This one was in this box at it diagonally, so it was freaking bent. And then I got this, which are my shifter bushings. I got them red, so I know I've changed them. Like if they were black, you couldn't really tell, so I got red. And these are gonna help. All right, Marcus. These are going to help with this. Because as you can see, that's pretty gnarly. All right. But yeah, I got my little piggy here. He like his legs move whenever I drive, so that's why I went ahead and kept him on. But Marcus is still in the background. But this is gonna help this play in the shifter. That's pretty ridiculous, you know. But that'll fix that. So I gotta take my engine apart, and I have to fix this. I've never done one of these before. I've never done that before, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to make your car work right. So everything came in the mail today, along with my Rock Auto head gasket and shifter bushings. I got my tuner crate, which is a new color. You can see I got quite a few on the wall right there, and now I got a green one. And I went from having the second biggest one to the smallest one because my mom was tired of paying that, so I only got one t-shirt. And not only that, but I also got my other magazine. If y'all want to know what my name's Dick Fartnerson. Just in case y'all want, that's like my actual name, Dick Fartnerson, but I changed it. But we're gonna open this up and see what's inside. It starts with a FRS, BRZ, something like that. I don't know which one this is.
It's a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Right there. There's that. Ooh, here's a legit t-shirt. Oh, look at this rag. You should come rag, Marcus, for when you're looking at my Dick Fartnerson magazine. This is a fucking lit shirt. Ooh, that shit is nice. Last month's tuner crate I didn't like because it was TJ Hunt, but this one's pretty lit. Is there anything on the back? What's on the back? B is for build, so I guess this is his FRS BRZ. I don't know what car this is, or GT86, but anyway, that's what my tuner crate is.
That one guy, he
built the louvers.
Yeah, the louvers.
But that's it. So, you know, I'm feeling generous today. You know, my brother likes to hang stuff on his wall too, like mine, as you can see. Except, my brother doesn't have as many as me, so I kind of feel bad for him. So I'm gonna give him some things to hang up on his wall. I'm gonna surprise him with it. I got all the best pictures. Alright, so what do you think he'd want? I think he'd appreciate these people right here. I have not recorded anything, but I have everything off. The last thing I need to get off before I can take the heads off is this crankshaft pulley. This is what spins the motor. If I spin this, it moves the cylinders, you know, whatever. And I can't get that bolt off because every time I try to loosen it, it moves. And I can't get in there with an impact or anything because my AC condenser is right here. And it's so close. I've been going at it with this, just like knocking it back and forth, finding it right when it gets hard, and I try to bust it, but it doesn't work. But other than that, everything's off. I got both valve covers off and whatever. And then the cylinder head bolts are a 12-star 14 millimeter. You can see how they're not like a normal hex, they're a star bit. So in order to do it, you have to have this socket, which is a pretty common socket, you know. It's not like that where it's 6-point, it's a 12-point normal 14 millimeter socket. But once I might crack them loose, and then once I get this off, then I can actually take the heads off. But as of now, there's really nothing else I can do. But I got it completely disassembled, got all the parts laying around, all that, and then I put my head gaskets there. But it's 12 at night, and I just made myself almost throw up trying to get to that last valve cover bolt. So I don't even know how I'm going to attempt to get this head bolt, which is right here, back there, because as you can see, it's pinched up against the frame and there's no room at all. And so yeah, as a word of advice, take it from me, please. If you ever have your motor out of your car or have it to where you can work on it nice and simple, make sure you replace every single gasket, including the head gasket. Back when I had pulled this engine out, I had it out for a day I could have gotten everything done. When I had it out till I painted everything and I cleaned the engine up and made sure everything was fine, and I was questioning myself like, oh, should I replace all the gaskets before I put it in so it'll be nice and ready for some boost, or should I just go like fuck it and try it? So I went ahead and dropped the motor without replacing anything, mostly because if you see, this is the head and this is the block, and here's the head gasket right there. If you see the head gasket, see it's like sticking up right there. Those looked fairly new to me. Like I thought those were like brand new, like they just replaced them, because the timing cover is new and timing cover gasket was new, even though they put it on really bad, and I'm gonna have to replace it along with getting a new timing cover because they're all cracked right there. But all the valve cover gasket was new and everything else was new, so I was like, oh, they just replaced the head gasket, I don't have to worry about it. Well, no matter what, even if you think it's new, go ahead and replace it. Take it from me, please do it. I'm having to go through all this trouble and do it when it's harder to work on. This would have been like 12 times easier if it was outside of the car, because I don't have to worry about trying to fit it right there or anything. So I'm sweating my ass off and it's hot and humid and I feel like I'm gonna throw up now, but I have to get all this done and hopefully I can do it. So I got the timing cover off, as you can see, and I got the crankshaft off. To get the crankshaft off, I had a socket here, and then there's this little tab right here that exposes the flywheel. So I got a flathead, and I wedged it there as I pushed, and I got the bolt out, and then I lined up the timing. There's a timing mark there, and it lines up there, and there's one there that lines up there, and then there's a blue one there that lines up there. So it's all in time now, so I'm going to go ahead and, I think they said to remove that and remove that, and that takes the tension off this. That way I can take the heads off, because this is a head right here and that's a head right here, so I know how to line everything up. So as you can see, I'm going to do this for myself. You can see that one is a touch forward. That one is like dead on. And that one's pretty close too. But it's the next day and it's hot as crap outside. Let me see if I can get a 93 degrees, and in here it's like a sauna. But I just got to do that and then I can take the heads off. I already loosened all the bolts. They're cracked loose, not loose, but they're loose, you know. is 1:35 in the morning, and I am laying under my car. I'm going to change these bushings, and the first thing I notice is boom, that's out of the bushing completely. But I'm replacing them anyways. These are kind of old. That one's gonna be kind of a pain to get to. But other than that, this is I'm laying an oil tube. That's a problem. You can see it just completely like not even in it at all. But I'm gonna go ahead and take those bolts out and replace that bushing and replace that bushing too, trying not to get in the oil. But so if you see here, this is my old shifter bushing. You can see it's kind of like chewed up and small, and it's got a plate. This whole thing's a bushing, so you can see this bolt. These are long bolts, and then it has a little metal sleeve that comes out, whatever. And so these will be long enough to go up there. You can see it's loose now. I'm gonna go see how loose it feels. Oh, you can see the shifter wearing down at the roof. No, you really can't. Barely. Yeah, I see right above it, there's that little line where it's been wearing because it wasn't even inside the freaking thing. But I'm gonna go see how loose my shifter is right now. This is the type of stuff I like doing when working on my cars that you can't do whenever you take it somewhere. Like, I like seeing what my car's like whenever I'm fixing it. So, for instance, I just undid my shifter bushing. One of them, I have my battery out, so I don't have any lights. But as you can see here, honestly, it feels the same, but it's still pretty bad now because there's nothing holding it back. You can hear it smacking around down there. But you can see there, first, second, first, second, first. So let's see how much that minimizes once I put my bushings on. And hopefully the first one will help because it wasn't even in the slot. The second one's kind of good, I don't know. Let's see if it'll fix or not. Well, to make this easier, I just disconnected the whole shifter mechanism. There's just a little snap ring holding this on, so I took it off. Because, ooh, there's a spider web. To get this bushing on, it's kind of tough to take it out and put it on when it's up like that. So I'm just going to take this out completely. Oh, and there's a spider right there. I did not even see that. Look at him still moving. Die. Okay. But, if you can see now, my shifter is as loose as it could possibly be. Look, it touches the front because it's completely disconnected. You can't even tell because it's dark in here, but that's a lot of play. But now I can easily put the other bushing in, and then I can stick the other piece on the end right there when I put it back on, so it won't be as difficult. So all I did was just stab it with the screwdriver. I like put my foot there and pried it off. I just stabbed it through. You can see old versus new. Much more solid and not as squishy. And they're both rolling. I don't even know where that one went, but it's outside. It's outside. Beamer, looking smexy. But I'm gonna slap this in. I might put a little grease on the edge so it'll slip in easier. I got some grease right there, but that's that. Well, I have this fan going right here, but as you can see, I would not have been able to do this whatsoever without without taking it out or without using a vise thing. Shut up, fan! Stop oscillating in my face. Okay. What I had to do is I put this baby in the goddamn vice grip and tightened down. And you see it's in, but I had to use a flathead to pry up. Like, I got the one corner down, like I got it in that corner, and then if I had it in that corner, then I pried it up from the top and just squeezed. And as you can see, this one end is flat and one end is round, so I pushed the round end on and I got it through and done. So you go back to the garage and fit the other thing on. I was gonna spray paint this, but I got it all greasy and I don't know. I don't have to wait for the paint to dry, but now I'm going to slap this back on in the vehicle after getting that in. And I highly recommend this. This is a really good company. Energy suspension. I got this for 17 bucks off of Rock Auto because I was ordering my head gasket. You see the one head on, one head off. It's laying there, everything. But I just thought I'd look at it and I was like, oh, this is pretty cheap, and it's a kind of big problem I have. So now I got this, and hopefully my shifter will be way better. So I'm gonna go slap this on now. So as you can see, I got it tightened down, and the shaft is actually in it. And then I have the red one tightened down up there. And as you can see, it is 2:23 and I have finally finished. So I'm gonna go see how the shifter feels. So I brought the shop light in here. This is my first reaction. I haven't even felt it yet. See, it still fucking moves around a lot, but it's not as bad. It's like in gear now. So, I mean, it's way better than it was, but it's still not. Oh, I just heard something fall off. I think I know exactly what happened. I think the freaking snap ring fell out, so I have to go fix that. So I went to test it, and if you can see right there, the ball has come out of the socket. So this bitch is just wobbly again. So I'm gonna have to hammer Mr. Piggy back into that socket. I have no idea how that happened, but hopefully she pops right back in. So I took everything off, and you can see this ball, I don't know, I've hammered it, I've tried prying it in, I don't know what's wrong. I'm hoping I don't have to take the clamp off the bottom and slip it back in, but I don't know how this happened in the first place, and I don't know why it won't go back on, but it's pretty annoying because every time I try to do anything, everything else has to mess up even though I do it the correct way. So well, what I did is I got a lot of leverage off my shifter, so I pushed it down into third, or no, fourth or second, I don't know, and I just pushed down. I pushed down and back, and I heard it pop in. So that baby's back in the socket, and I can put everything back on. And if y'all are wondering how I got this on, this is just a normal, like I had it on the golf shaft and everything, and all I did, I just kind of cut it at the end, and you can see it kind of broke from using it. Okay, so mark my words, now the whole thing has come out. So fuck me, this sucks. Third time's a charm. As you can see, it's back on. Mr. Piggy's right here. I haven't put him back on yet, but it's all going fine. Well, it has been a long time. I'm still waiting on parts in the mail. I still haven't gotten the other head off because I don't want to do anything until I get the other parts. But what I just did, you see that? I just cut off the bottom part of this Allen key, and I'm gonna try to do something kind of sketchy. I'm holding with these because it's hot. I don't know, but ow, fuck. Okay, this engine didn't come with exhaust studs. All the studs came out, and I finally got one to stick. Because all the other ones, I don't know if I have one up here. Oh my god, I just ate it. See this right here? This is an exhaust stud, but it's like the whole stud came out with the nut because the nut's like welded on. So what I did is I got a bolt, and as you see, I got the bottom part as far in as I could, and see, it doesn't stick out enough. So I cut an Allen key, piece of Allen key out that big, and I'm going to stick this in the stud hole like that, and then I'm going to tighten this as tight as I can inside of it. And I wanted to use an Allen key and not just something else, that way it actually like stays in. Like if I were to use like epoxy or something, I couldn't just easily take it out if I wanted to, if it doesn't work. But I'm going to screw this in, and I'm going to cut the head of the bolt off after I put some Loctite on it. so that way I can have exhaust studs in, because it's really hard trying to line my exhaust up without any studs. So I'm trying to put all the old studs in now. So I just cut the head of the bolt off, and as you can see, I now have an exhaust stud, and I'm gonna back this off of it to save the threads. And as you can see, it's unwinding nice, and I'm gonna keep that there just to let that soak in and let that soak in. And see, I have this stud. I don't remember if it's because the nut was welded on or not, but I have these exhaust bolts. They're an M10 1.25 is the nut, but I think it's the same as a bolt also, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, here they are. They are M10 1.25 30 millimeters, but I'm using with a little piece of Allen key cut for that one bolt. And I'm trying to use this stud on that when I take it out. But I got my intake manifold gasket, my throttle body gasket. I've already replaced my valve cover gaskets. You can see they're nice and blue. I did those right before I did it because I didn't know if it was actually my head gasket or not, but I've replaced that. And so all the gaskets are being replaced. And then yeah, I don't know if I want to do my timing belt or not, because I don't want to buy it, but this one looks in really good condition. And the guy was saying something about it being done. I don't know if he actually did it or not on this motor when it was in the Legacy, the old parts car. But I thought about cleaning this up, getting like a wire brush or whatever. I have oh, it's not in here. I have a wire brush attachment for my angle grinder, but I don't know if it's gonna work well enough to get them all clean. But I might try to clean everything up. But I'm finally starting to make some moves, because I haven't done anything in a while, and I've been trying to get the Beamer, whatever, nicer for whenever I trade it and or sell it. But everything's coming along. I'm just waiting on the head bolts now, and then I'll take everything apart and get it all back together. So I'm spinning again. Next I got a haircut also. But what I'm about to do now, as you can see, I did it a little bit and I liked it a lot, so I took that off and I unscrewed this. It's so much easier to do without having to worry about the intake manifold, because last time I had to do it little increments at the time. But I took the coolant thing off and I put little things there so I don't get stuff in the cooling system. But I got that on, and I'm going to polish this all up, and I'm going to show you how fantastic that looks. Well, here it is after. You can see I went over it. I couldn't get it too much with the mechanical one, so I went in with this finger one, and I sprayed it down with some water to get it, because it like was slinging it everywhere, and I got stabbed multiple times. So make sure you're wearing eye protection, preferably like a face mask, and put some clothes on, unlike me, because I'm getting needles shot at my chest the whole time. But I'm gonna put this back on, but as you can see, it looks way cleaner, and everything's all nice and polished up. That's just dirt in there. That's clean though, but I couldn't really get much over there because everything's so like in divots and whatever. But it looks way better than before, and now I'm gonna put that back together and whatever. So I got both heads out. As you can see, the way I had to take it out, these valves are actually sticking out, and that bolt was a pain to get out. But I have both heads out now. I just got to wait on the new head bolts, because as you can see, these are super rusted, which is really bad, and they're like caught or whatever. But I think I'm gonna stop for now. My pool is looking nice. Look at that. So I'm probably gonna go swim. I'm all black and tired and whatever, so I'm done for the day. I'm halfway done now. I'm probably gonna end the video here, have halfway done to putting it back together. I don't know why I'm really like making a video on this. There we go. The lighting hits me like that. But here's the halfway completed motor. I got the gaskets, just waiting on the head bolts, and that's that. So